2024 was so full of like great horror movies and suspense movies. It's kind of hard to keep up. One that flew under the radar with me, and I saw it a couple weeks ago, was Heretic. And hey, it was pretty interesting, especially in the vein of Christian based, religious based horror. So let's get into it.
U-GeekTV.
Welcome back to U-GeekTV. I'm your host, Jarreous the Unapologetic Geek, and I am back with another unapologetic review. And this time I'm talking about Heretic, which I saw again weeks ago and didn't do a review on it. Sorry. Anyways, I'm going to do a spoiler free review, and it's going to be quick. And then on the back end, the spoiler part of this is just something I got to bring up to really get to the overall point of this film, which I actually enjoyed quite a bit. So without further ado, here we go. Heretic really nails the creep factor, that unsettling feeling. It's like you're waiting for something to happen. You know something is going to happen. You're hoping that you're not too disturbed by it, but you just know there is a clear and present danger. And that is found with Hugh Grant's character. Hugh Grant is giving a transformative, I guess, performance as the man who's essentially torturing girls who are missionaries who just want to spread the gospel and just talk to people about converting or just about church in general. And I met people that are like that. I'm not one to be converted in my front door or anything like that. I was raised in a non-denominational church. I'm very familiar with God. He and I have our own thing. But it was interesting seeing that be the backdrop of a horror film. Like, you never thought about, someone pulling in some missionaries into a night of terror, and it's very well done. You know immediately you can't really trust him. He does have an inviting home and an inviting face and smile and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, he is a piece of shit in his family. He puts these girls through hell, but what unfolds is a theological argument, essentially. Like, here's what I believe, and here's why I am right, and I want you all to prove me otherwise. He is a serial. Well, no, he wasn't a serial killer. I'm not going to spoil it or really get into it, but he was just a dude who really went batshit crazy and wanted to prove how he felt about the world was the correct way to do it. And these girls are caught in a harrowing battle of life and death, and it is engaging throughout. I especially feel this way if, again, you grew up in church. Like, you can really, it really gets deep. But yeah, it's a well-made movie, solid cinematography. The score is unsettling. The acting is solid. The story doesn't move too slowly. It's not even a long film or anything like that. And the third act is good and really hammer homes its point. And that leads me to my verdict. Heretic gets a unapologetically superb rating. It is a 4 out of 5 for me. One of the best films I've seen this year. You should check it out. Now, on the spoiler side of things, and this is your spoiler warning, on the spoiler side of things, the ending is where it really hits home for me. You have this character who is taking these two missionaries who are deep and like really engulfed in their faith and put these girls through hell. And at the end, when it looks like he's killed one of them and he's gonna break the second one to convert to his side because he's been kidnapping nuns and women of the church or whatever and breaking their spirits down by keeping them alive and making them serve him, essentially. When it comes down to it, this girl still believes in God and she fights and she stabs him in the neck and the jugular and he's bleeding out and everything. And she's fighting to get out and he catches up with her. And you see that he is, he's dying and she starts to pray. What's so profound is you see fear come over him. And Hugh Grant, with his, again, great acting, ask her to pray for her. In he nonverbal, yeah, it's nonverbal. In a nonverbal way, he asked her to pray for him because he's afraid. and that fear turns to hatred a little bit too because he wants to kill her as well. But it is a great scene, and I mean, we're on the spoiler side of it anyway. He is an atheist, and he is basically teaching them that religion is just derived of a lot of different concepts and everything, and God doesn't exist. And he wants to break these girls to prove that. And by the end of this film, you can argue that their faith got them through, and God may have even gotten them through. It's kind of up in the air, it's just your interpretation or whatever. It just depends on where you are with faith, like where you align in terms of spirituality, on whether you believe they made it out because of God or they made it out because they got lucky or their faith fortified them to the point where they were able to make it out. It's so many ways you can interpret the end of this movie. But yeah, they essentially went out, they escaping, and they're able to get away from Hugh Grant. And he dies and all that kind of stuff. But yes, him asking the last girl, the final girl, for prayer was such a standout moment for me. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing this one again, actually. So, Heretic, have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments. Continue to like, continue to share, continue to subscribe. Thank you for everything you've done. And until next time, I'm Jarreous the Unapologetic Geek, and I am out.